Are you still scoring low after months of study, after months of preparation for your USMLE? You've been doing blocks of questions, and it's almost as though no matter how much studying you've done, you always score within the same range, probably in your 20s, in your 30s, or even in your 40s. You're stuck at one of these points. I'm going to open this video by letting you know that you're not alone. There are a lot of students that are exactly where you are at, and there are a lot of students that have also gotten out of it. It's probably not even your fault at all, and there is a system that fixes this, and I'm going to share that with you in this video. What are the real problems of step one preparation? I'm going to be sharing with you 3 of them. The first problem with step one preparation is that students focus excessively on content overload. You have an endless array of resources. You have so many resources. You have this video resource and that video resource. You've tried this and tried that, and you have this cocktail of information in your brain that you cannot use when you try to answer questions. So you finish reading, you finish studying a topic, it's a subject or a system, but when you do questions, it almost feels like the questions don't have anything to do with what you have just studied. Many times this is a result of content overload. The second problem is focusing on excessive U-word questions. Whether U-word, AMBOSS, RX, whatever QBank it is you are using, there is a tendency to fall into the trap of wanting to do hundreds or thousands of questions before you begin to feel confident about your approach. Unfortunately, however, for a lot of students, even this has not worked because you've done multiple questions, you've done thousands of questions, you've done some of your QBanks twice or even thrice, and somehow your scores have managed to not budge. They've not improved a bit from where they used to be before. The third problem is how the resources are used. A lot of students are studying passively. You just watch videos passively without any strategy on how to make progress, how to measure progress, and a standard way to objectively tell that you are making improvement and getting ready for the exam at whatever timeline you have set for yourself. Remember that the step one exam is not just about how much you know or how much you have studied and given of yourself to work. It's about mastering how to take the exam, test-taking mastery, and efficiency when it comes to approaching these questions. You need to be efficient, and when I say efficient, I mean accurate with answering the questions, and also efficient with how you use your time. Here are 4 common mistakes students make during their step one preparation. The first mistake is trying to study harder but not smarter. I always tell students you have to study very, very hard, but you also have to study smart, because when I put 2 hard-working students together, the one that studies smarter will do better than the one that just studies harder. A lot of students, the number 2 thing is ignoring timing, right? You just do questions. Some people, I had a student I met with today, she's preparing for the step 2 CK, but it's around the same problem you guys will have on step 1 preparation. And she did a block in tutor mode. She had 57%. This student is just starting out now. This student had failed her exam in the past, so I'm now beginning to work with her. She did a block in tutor mode, scored a 57%. She did another block in timed mode and scored a 25%, if I'm not mistaken. Look at the difference in that score. It is important that as you work and as you prepare for your exam, you pay attention to timing. You have to be able to use your time wisely. Whether you're investing that time in studying or investing that time in doing questions, you are both learning how to answer the questions and learning how to answer the question within a stipulated time frame. Your mindset going into the exam is also very important. If you think that the USMLE is overwhelming, if you think it is very difficult, you're going to panic, you're going to suffer anxiety, you're going to have an overwhelming amount of fear that begins to paralyze you and even stop you from doing the amount of work you're willing to do. Sometimes you wake up and because you're so frustrated, you can't find the strength to study. Many of you would have experienced this as well. That's why you want to be sure that you're paying attention to how you're managing your time all around. You want to be sure that you have your mind in the right place when you're going about your preparation. The other problem students have, or the other mistake students make, is that you try to memorize and you don't have a structured plan. Students cram without structure. You just pick up this system. I know that I am supposed to study this. Many of you don't even study to start with. You begin with flashcards. Somebody gave you the advice. Flashcards are the best thing. And so you just keep going through flashcards. It is great. You're going to memorize a lot of information. You are not going to learn how to think. And the reality is that the quickest way to approach the USMLE preparation at all levels is to have understanding. Understanding is always going to be more important than memorizing information. This is why I despise flashcards sometimes, especially for majority of students. I don't even want them to go close to flashcards because the memorization may limit your ability to actually think like you should. The most important part of your preparation is learning how to think. The last mistake students make is letting anxiety and burnout ruin their retention. At the end of the day, remember, if you are too afraid, you cannot learn. If there is something that gives you anxiety, we need to find a way to address that specific problem before you continue with your preparation. So if you're scared because you think the questions are difficult, you need a way to address that. If you're worried because you think the material is excessive, the information is a lot, these are legitimate concerns that you have. These are good reasons, or these are reasons enough for you to have concern, for you to have some worry. But if you have any of those concerns, it's important to address them before you jump into studying. If there is something that causes you to panic, it's important that we address it before you take it into your studying. Because as long as your anxiety is there and brewing and actively pinning you down, it's going to be very difficult for you to make progress. And your journey is going to be one of long suffering. You're going to hate it completely. And then to think of the fact that you're going to do it for step 1 and do it for step 2 CK, and in some cases, you probably also do it for step 3 as well, then you're going to really hate the USMLE process. And that is definitely not what I want for you. And I'm sure it's not what you want for yourself either. I'm going to share with you the story of one of my students in the past. And it's a story that I think that a lot of you will be able to relate with. And hopefully not, actually. I hope you don't exactly relate with this student's story. But it's a student's story of coming from what I would consider one of the lowest points a person can possibly be before they get to pass the USMLE, or during this journey of the USMLE. I don't even know how to say that. It's like the worst of the worst kind of points a person could be at during their USMLE preparation. I met this student sometime, I don't remember the year, but before the pandemic, right? And this was a student that had failed the USMLE Step 1 twice and failed the USMLE Step 2 CK 1 time. Those of you that follow me on Instagram would have seen, I posted about it a long time ago. That story. I'll probably put it somewhere here so that you guys can appreciate it better. She had prepared, and this is not a lazy student, and this is not a dull student either. The reason why I can share her story with you guys is because this student has successfully matched into surgery as we speak. So this shows you that she has overcome a lot, and she's no joke of a person either, right? But this same person that has matched into surgery now is now a practicing doctor. I don't want to call her name. Well, let's call her Nancy. Let's call her Nancy, At the time, she failed the USMLE Step 1. I don't know who gave her advice to write it, but she did it again. Somehow, she managed to fail it again. And then she decided, okay, let me give Step 2 CK a try, and managed to fail it as well. And I guess it was at that point, somehow somebody referred her to me, I don't know. And then I began working with her. What was the problem with this student? Why was she stuck? She was stuck because she was simply doing the same things over and over. She was rereading a lot of information, probably trying lots and lots of flashcards, watching videos multiple times, for example. What she did not know how to do effectively was how to think. What she did not know how to do effectively was how to learn simply. A lot of the information you're going to be learning, you need to learn easy ways to understand them. Everything is not as complicated as they seem. A lot of times you have to realize that most of the complications you see when you study are in your head. Not your fault. Maybe you studied, somebody taught you in a way that was too complicated, it was difficult for you to make sense of. But that was the case for this student. She learned a lot of information. She could not use the information. And I'm telling you of a person that is extremely hardworking. This was a very hardworking student. When I began having conversations with her, I was wondering, how did somebody like this manage to fail the exam twice? But I'll tell you something. she discovered a better system. She learned a better way to do things. And in a very short time, she got step 1 out of the way. I was super impressed. She got step 2 CK out of the way. I was even more impressed with her performance. She did the step 3 exams, passed the step 3 exams like it's nothing, while working in the US as well. And today she has marched into surgery. A lot of you have been in this position. You've either failed before. I don't know how many of you have failed twice or even 3 times and still find the strength to keep going. But even if you're at like this student, there is still a path that you can take to get the result you want on the USMLE. It is students like this one and a lot of the other type of students I have seen that led me to decide ultimately that I'm not just going to coach my students in isolation. I'm going to put together a program that is going to help medical students achieve their goals of passing the USMLE, not just step 1, but even step 2 CK and step 3. This is the reason why I had built the MD pathway. I'm going to take you briefly through every component of the MD pathway and show you how it can help you achieve your goals. All right, here we go. Good. The MD pathway is a course that I have been working on for the most part of last year. Again, I've been coaching students for almost a decade now, and up until this point, I work with students one-on-one. I work with students in groups. Some of you may have heard of our bootcamp session we had some years back, and I was looking for the best way to put together a program that can ensure that students will get results. Now, the MD pathway is not just another course. It's a 4-month system. I don't want any student to just be able to go online, buy this program, go home and then watch videos. It will be very good, but I want a system that is guaranteed to give you results. There are 4 things I had in mind building this program. Number 1 is a personalized study efficiency. Number 2 is to provide you with efficient ways to answer questions, test mastery, test taking strategies, effective learning habits, and all of these things you're going to need to develop to effectively get through the USMLE. Not just step 1, but step 2 CK and step 3 as well. You are also going to have access to weekly coaching in this program, as I'm going to be showing you. And finally, the last thing I had in mind was that this program is going to be very helpful for students who are feeling overwhelmed, students who feel like they are lagging behind in many areas, and students who have failed the USMLE before. One of the things I take pride in, and I always say, is that I have taken students that have failed multiple times, a lot of them, and those students have gone on to pass the exams and march into various specialties. And that is why I want you to have access to this program at this point. I'm going to be showing you the different parts of the MD pathway, the different components of this program that guarantees to help you pass the exam you have in front of you. Okay? Again, this is the MD pathway. It is my most proven and comprehensive USMLE program, and I'll show you why in a little bit. The first part of the MD pathway that you're going to be having access to if you sign up for this program is the complete USMLE High Yield Secrets Bundle. The USMLE High Yield Secrets Bundle is a video recording of every organ system and every subject area. I have done it myself. Integrated learning approach. It's not enough to just study endocrinology. You need to understand how endocrinology ties into other organ systems and how to integrate. It is not enough to try to learn how to integrate after you have studied all the systems, but you want to learn the integration as you study each system. And that is the approach I have used in teaching these lectures. So every single subject is integrated where relevant, of course. You're not going to be overwhelmed with resources, but the most important and high yield integral concepts have been approached and covered in this high yield secrets bundle. This is a video resource. This video resource by itself is sufficient, will be sufficient for majority of students. So if you can get this video, you go with it, you watch the videos, I am very confident that you're going to learn everything you need, how you need to learn them, and you're going to be ready for your exam. But you're also going to have access in this program to the test taking mastery course. Yesterday, I actually had to give someone a live demo of the test taking mastery course, one of the students I take one-on-one that attends one of the universities here. I had to do it to them live because the student is live. I can literally see the student. So I just did it with them one-on-one. But for you, you're going to have access to the test taking mastery course and the guides that come along with this course. This course will teach you how to think. It will teach you how to answer questions. It will give you the resources you need that the next time you see a USMLE question, you're not going to shy away from it. You know exactly how to think, like the people that have written the exams. You know how the question even is built in the first place. And you have different approaches that will help you answer the questions efficiently. The next thing you're going to have access to are our weekly live group coaching sessions. Part of the design of the MD pathway is that at least once or twice a week, you're going to have a coach attend to you. Right now, for those students that are the first persons to join the MD pathway, I was with a student on call today, helping him navigate the MD school. For students that are these first time sign-ups we are going to be having for the MD pathway, you're literally going to be having me as your personal coach. I'm going to be in the group, and in the MD school, I'm going to be attending to all your questions, all your concerns, and helping you get clarity on this journey. So you're going to get access, again, to our high yield secrets bundle. You're going to have access to the test taking mastery course. I value this course a lot because I have used it for students of all levels, step 1 and step 2 included. And you're going to have access to live group coaching. You don't want to miss any of those sessions. In addition to those, you're going to get 2 bonuses. One of the major concerns of students prepare for the USMLE, I'll tell you, it's not, I did not even know how important this was until the last few years when I had several students complain, break down, and I was like, okay, this is serious. And that was the biggest motivating factor for the MD school. One of the complaints students have is that when you're preparing for the USMLE, you usually feel alone. You feel like you're just locked up in a room. You don't have friends. Your family does not understand or don't see the difficulty you're having to deal with. And so many students are more frustrated than they need to be. You're not just frustrated because you're preparing for the USMLE. You're also frustrated because nobody else understands you. It feels like you're lost in this world dealing with this difficult process. So the MD school is a place where you're going to meet other students that are prepared for the USMLE just like yourself. You are going to have ability to chat with these students, meet with them over video calls. For those of you that are looking for study partners, you're going to have automatic study partners. There is a study room, a study library. I was in the library today with one of the students, Dimitri, and you're going to basically see other people study. You can decide to study with them. For example, you're not going to be talking, of course, it's going to be quiet. But if you want to talk, there is a room in the MD school where you can discuss, you can interact with other students from other parts of the world. You guys can have conversations back and forth and whatnot, right? And then finally, you're going to be having access to our high yield summary sheets and guides. These are a summary of every organ system condensed, where if you have watched the videos once, I don't want you to rewatch and rewatch videos. When you feel like you want to review your cardiology, I don't need you to go back to the high yield secrets bundle and rewatch cardiology. Instead, you can just look at the high yield summary sheets on cardiology and it will tell you the most important points you need to know on cardiology. There is also what I call the exam focus. There are 5 exam focus PDFs that you're going to need in the last 2 weeks of your preparation. These are gold. They are basically the most high yield focused mixed arrangement of concepts that you're going to need for your exams. A lot of students will tell me that, Kennedy, I had almost 40 questions, 50 questions on my exam straight out of the exam focus. The exam focus is super condensed as to what you have to absolutely know. And I'm very happy to give all of these to you. The total value of the So again, before we even get to the total value of this is everything you're going to be having. You're going to get the USMLE High Yield Secrets Bundle. You're going to get the USMLE Test Taking Mastery course. You're going to get access to weekly live group coaching sessions, the MD School, which is our online membership forum, high yield summary sheets, and guides. All of these will bring us to a total value of around $14,344. But of course, I'm not going to let you pay $14,000. Students that are signing up right now at this point, you are able to sign up for this course at $2,997 USD. That is the price for this program. But because you're watching this video, by the end of this video, I'm going to give you a way that you can apply a coupon code and get a slightly lower price as well. Before we jump to the end of this, I want to let you know this. The MD pathway is not for every student. Just like my one-on-one coaching program was never for every student, I have had to fire students in the past for several reasons because I thought they were not the type of students I think are good to present to the USMLE, or students that I thought were not committed. And the same thing applies to the MD pathway. The MD pathway is not for you if you don't have time. If you don't have up to 5 hours to study in a day, the MD pathway is probably not the best fit for you. If you don't want to prioritize your studies above other distractions, those students that are not interested in prioritizing their studies, it is not for you. I will tell you guys a story. There was a time I used to teach or coach some students from my school, but live in person. And a student told me, "Oh my God, Kennedy, the reason I can't really attend classes is because I have to go to the gym and my boyfriend is going to want me back home." And I said, "Okay, please don't come to the class." And she did not come. And she did not write her exams for months and months, even a couple years after that time, right? If you're not willing to prioritize your studies above distraction, then the MD pathway is definitely not for those students. It's not for students who are not willing to adapt to new study methods. What is the point in you've been doing several things over and over. You've been repeating flashcards over and over. You've taken several programs over and over. You're still struggling. Your scores are still stuck. If you're not willing to adopt new methods because you're going to be learning new ways of doing things here, then the MD pathway is probably not for you. People who are looking for quick fixes, shortcuts, that are not willing to put in the necessary time and the effort it takes to become ready for the USMLE. It is not for students who lack consistency and are unable to follow a proven, predetermined study schedule. The arrangement of the MD pathway is to try to provide you with everything you're going to need to stay consistent. You will have other students who you will see working. They will be sharing their progress in the MD school to keep you motivated. Just in case you're exhausted, you're giving up, there's a lot going on in your life, you want someone to push you. That is why the MD school is there. Your interaction with students from all over the world will keep you on track. But if all of these cannot help you stay consistent, then the MD pathway is also not for you. It is not for students who have too many commitments outside of preparing for the USMLE. Things that drain their energy, drain their time, drain their focus. From family to relationships to physical, psychological, emotional stress. There's a lot that go on with some people. And if you have any of these numerous problems and you feel like it's really overwhelming, it's probably better that you just take time out, fix those pressing issues, and then give the USMLE a shot so that you don't waste your money on this program and your time as well, right? It is also not for students who are too pessimistic and don't believe that there is anything in the world that can help them pass the exams. I believe in you. If you have gone through medical school, it doesn't matter how hard you struggled, you went through it, and you have so far gotten to the point where you're prepared for the USMLE. So I trust that there's a part of you that is absolutely capable of passing the USMLE. However, if you are a devoted student that is ready to study every day and you're willing to allocate substantial time to your preparation, if you are one of those that prioritize your study over distractions and you're going to put the USMLE preparation as your main focus, at least for the next few months, if you are adaptable to effective study methods and you keep an open, teachable mindset, I'm very glad to teach you. If you can stay consistently committed to a comprehensive and in-depth study plan while avoiding unnecessary and detrimental shortcuts. And if you have an optimistic and positive mental attitude, it doesn't matter how many times you failed before, stay positive and you believe in the power of preparation to excel in your USMLE exams, then the MD pathway is definitely for you. It is for students like this that I have put in the work to build this program. Now, this program is a 6 months access program. Like I said before, it's going to give you 6 months access, right? The schedule you're going to be working with in the MD pathway is a 4-month schedule. So I expect you to be ready for your exam in 4 months, but you're going to have access to this program for 6 months. Because for some students, maybe you're going to need an extra week, 2 extra weeks, 5 weeks maybe. Some students who want to brush up on a number of things. I understand that everybody's at different points. The program prepares you for the USMLE in 4 months. but we give you 6 months access to give you another opportunity, some leeway to prepare more efficiently and make sure that you're ready for your exam. Now, to the good part. There are 2 ways you can make payments to the MD pathway. Okay, some of you would want to pay one time, 2,997. You make a payment one time and you're happy, or you can choose to do a payment plan that allows you split your payment into 3 parts, and you can make them over time. Those of you that are watching this video right now, you have the opportunity to apply this coupon code. It's going to expire after a number of students use the code, right? So right now, the coupon code is still available. It's YT500, 500. I'm going to put it on the screen. YT500, capital letters. You can see it right here. If you apply this coupon code, it's going to take away $500 from the price of the MD pathway. It is not available to every student, so you want to grab this while you can. That's the MD pathway, you guys. You can come here, fill your contact information. For those of you that are not certain, you still want additional information, you want to hear from me, I'm going to leave a link below where you can book a call, and it's going to be a free call for 15 minutes. We'll have a chat and I'll know exactly what your situation is. I want to relate with every student on a personal basis and know exactly what your unique problem is. As you work with me in the MD pathway, I also want to ensure that I know your unique situation and I can help you in that manner. Okay, so if you have any questions, book a call. And for those of you that are not prepared to sign up to the full program right now, you actually can get the test taking mastery course to start. You can sign up there as well. There'll be a link to the test taking mastery course. Get the test taking mastery course. That course alone will help you boost your score by a lot. I'm going to be introducing this course as we go over and over these few months, and probably for the rest of time, who knows, right? And if you're new to the channel, I'm so glad you watched this video up to this point. Please remember to subscribe, leave a like, hit the like button, leave a comment below. What do you think about the MD pathway? Do you know someone that needs a system, someone that is struggling with the USMLE? You can recommend the MD pathway to them. And until next time, I'll see you guys on the inside, I'll see you on the call, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.